Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to our Kilkenny homestead. Now we're in full winter prep mode here on the homestead, and we want to make sure we've got our electrical needs covered for snow and winter and dark windless conditions. So today we're unboxing this 6 kilowatt petrol generator made by a company named Mill Germany. Once we have it unboxed and set up and running, we're then going to wire it into our off-grid system so that it can charge the batteries and provide mains power to the house if and when needed. So let's get straight into it. So looking at the front of this here, we've got 3 AC outlets which are double pin as opposed to the traditional European triple pin. We have a key start for our engine on and off, we have a voltmeter gauge, and we have a breaker switch on and off. We also have a high voltage 380 volt outlet which is a 5 pin. It also comes with a 12 volt DC outlet and a circuit breaker, and also then an earthing point connection. Walking around the generator, specification plate on the end, and that's the end of the AC generator there. Exhaust silencer there. And around to the back side, heat shield for the exhaust silencer, carburetor, airbox, and our cylinder. Around to the front side, air filter housing, the airbox. Got the fuel cut-off switch here, on and off. Pull cord here, and here's the side of our engine. Okay, time to read the instruction book. So we have the recoil start model as opposed to the key start model, and it looks like all the fittings are just underneath the sockets, which means that that front panel needs to be removed. The standard 95 octane unleaded. Just the usual stuff from the petrol station. Okay, everything checked, everything on. Let's give it a tilt. Hook on, yeah. So that was it, up and running. It took about 5 or 6 pulls for the fuel system to prime up because it is brand new, it's never been started. It's very quiet running, and the gauge seemed to indicate it was putting out somewhere around 400 volts, so it'll be interesting to see now what sort of ampage it can handle, and does it actually live up to the 6,000 watt peak. All in all, a nice quiet little unit. For £350 sterling, which is what they seem to be retailing for online, it seems to be worth every penny of it compared to the prices of the other units. Now, I can't speak to reliability or anything like that at this stage because we only just started it for the first time, but all in all it seems like a nice quiet unit. One critique I would have of this is that it takes European sockets as opposed to UK sockets, and we're here in Ireland, so we're going to have to modify an extension lead if we want to run appliances directly from this as opposed to through the off-grid system. Going through the off-grid system is not a problem. I'll just wire up one of those plugs to fit into our inverter, and that's what we're going to do next. Okay, so this is where it's going to live. Now, one thing I need to do, I need to put an exhaust port going through the wall to get the exhaust fumes out again. I have a little bit of steel pipe that'll do that job. And then finally wire a socket going from here up to a junction box somewhere here on the wall, and a wire running across into the bottom of the hybrid inverter. Okay, so to drill a hole for the exhaust pipe to go out through the wall, I'm going to use a little bit of off-grid power. I said I'd better mention this real quick. Using these European plugs that the generator is equipped with, it's important for us to know which is the live and which is the neutral for the hybrid inverter, obviously, and because here in the UK it's quite clearly labelled which is which. However, in Europe the convention is that the live normally goes to the right hand side and the neutral to the left, live being brown, blue being neutral. However, it's not set in stone apparently, and they can swap around sometimes, and that's why the socket can be turned upside down or the other way around. So this is basically the circuit coming in into a little joiner box here, down along and into what would be the mains AC input. So basically our generator is now connected and wired into the AC input of the hybrid inverter. The solar panels are reconnected, the batteries are reconnected. I did one little upgrade on the earth lead going from the inverter to the batteries, just put a heavier duty cable on there. So the input from the AC is reading 0 at the moment, so I'm going to set the camera up on the close-up on the gauge so that you can see it, and I'm going to pull the pull cord and get this generator up and running. Before we pull the cord, the batteries are full, power is coming in from the panels, DC to DC, charging the batteries. Well, it's not charging them at the moment, they are full. Let's just have a look and see if there's any residual drain there. There might be a little bit coming in. It's 143 volts, not 35 watts. Yeah, the batteries are just full at that, so it's switching off the charge coming in. Right, I'm going to start this up. It's going to get noisy, but we're going to end the video here, and you'll be able to see the AC power coming in. So there you go, that's this project coming to an end. There's a couple of changes that I would like to make, improving the exhaust ports, setting up a breaker here, but you can see the inverter has accepted it quite happily. So that's it, set for winter now, more or less, no matter what the weather throws at us. If you're doing anything like this yourself, first things first, always read the manuals on every device that you're connecting in there. Make sure that there's nothing that you're not aware of and that all precautions are taken. And particularly with safety when working on electronics, always make sure everything is disconnected from the mains or disconnected from any power sources that could give you a nasty shock or worse. So if you've enjoyed this video, if you found it helpful, please do subscribe to the channel and give the old like button a press there if you feel it's good enough. We're going to have a lot more upgrades coming into this system soon. I want to try and reconnect back to the 24 volt controller because there's a bit of a loss. There's about a 25% loss of having the solar panels in series when it comes to the wattage. I want to see if I can do something about that by running the control back through the old solar controller, which was seeing no losses. Basically the maximum that we're seeing from the panels in series is about 800 to 900 watts, whereas beforehand when they were in parallel they were getting up over 1000 watts. So that's a little experiment I want to play around with. But listen, thank you very much for joining me. I hope you found this helpful, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care.